It's an ordinary afternoon. You're driving home, nothing unusual, radio on, sun in your eyes a little. Up ahead, there's a police vehicle pulled onto the shoulder. Lights on, an officer waving you down. You're not worried. You haven't been drinking, your rego's current, you've been driving for years. So you pull over. You wind down the window, ready to be polite and get on with your day, and the officer leans in and says something you weren't expecting. He points down the road at a parked car and says, "Before anything else, can you read that number plate for me?" That request is one almost nobody is ready for, because most roadside questions you have a choice about. This one is different, and the natural response, "I'd need my glasses for that," is the exact sentence that puts your license at risk. In the next few minutes, we'll cover the one sentence that protects you, the strict standards you're legally bound to, and the heavy penalties if you get it wrong. To understand the risk, we have to look at the rules. In Australia, the minimum vision standards for driving are set by Austroads. For a private car license, the benchmark is clear. You must have a visual acuity of at least 6/12 with both eyes open. That means you can see at 6 meters what someone with perfect vision sees at 12. But it's not just about clarity. You also need a horizontal visual field of at least 110 degrees. Your peripheral vision is just as vital as your central focus. If you only meet these standards while wearing corrective lenses, a Condition S is added to your license. From that moment, wearing your glasses while driving becomes a legal requirement. Commercial drivers, those operating heavy vehicles or public transport, are held to a much higher standard. For them, the margins for error are almost non-existent. Commercial acuity must be 6 to 9 in the better eye. Their peripheral field must extend to 140 degrees. There is no flexibility here. Failure means losing your professional livelihood. Police have broad powers to check this at any time. While random vision screening isn't a standard setup like breath testing, officers can assess your fitness if they have any suspicion. Often, this starts informally. An officer might ask you to read a plate from 20 meters away or read text from a notebook to gauge your immediate visual capability. But who else is watching? In South Australia and the Northern Territory, reporting vision impairment isn't a choice for your doctor. It's a legal obligation. Health professionals in these regions must notify the licensing authority if they believe a patient is unfit to drive. The law prioritizes public safety over patient privacy in this instance. In other states like Victoria or New South Wales, reporting is discretionary. However, doctors are encouraged to report and are protected from liability if they do so in good faith. The system relies on this network of professionals and officers to ensure that every driver on the road can actually see the hazards they are navigating. What happens if you're caught? The financial penalties for breaching your vision conditions can be staggering, depending on where you are in the country. In Victoria, failing to wear required glasses is a breach of license conditions that can cost you up to 10 penalty units, which currently translates to over $1,600. New South Wales drivers face a double blow. Not only are the fines exceeding $300, but you will also accrue demerit points against your license. Queensland's fines are lower, typically around $144, but any mark on your driving record can have long-term insurance and licensing consequences. Beyond the money, there's the administrative nightmare. If an officer reports a vision concern, you're usually given a set window, often 8 weeks, to complete a formal medical review. If that paperwork isn't filed in time, your license is automatically suspended. The system doesn't wait for your convenience when road safety is at stake. It's easy to feel like these rules are just about revenue, but the science tells a much darker story. Vision impairment is a leading, yet underreported, cause of accidents. Research from the University of Western Australia found that visual field loss in both eyes increases your odds of a crash by 84%. That's a massive risk factor. Interestingly, central clarity, your acuity, isn't always the biggest culprit. It's the peripheral vision. If you can't see a car merging from your blind spot, no amount of focus can save you. Severe vision loss in any quadrant of your eye significantly raises the chance of an incident. This is why the horizontal field test is so strictly enforced for every driver. It's not just the drivers at risk. Vision Australia reports that 1 in 12 pedestrians with vision impairment have been hit by a vehicle. Safe roads require everyone to be visible and observant. When 1 in 3 drivers who need glasses admit to not wearing them, we're looking at a massive compliance gap that directly leads to preventable trauma on our streets. As we age, our vision naturally changes, and Australian law has specific triggers to manage this transition for senior drivers. These vary significantly by state. In New South Wales, mandatory annual medical and eyesight tests begin at age 75. It's a structured way to ensure that experience is backed by the physical ability to drive. Western Australia starts reviews at 80, moving to an annual requirement at 85. Queensland requires a medical certificate at 75, but annual tests only if a condition exists. Victoria takes a different path, with no mandatory age triggers. The Victorian system relies on self-notification and reports from health professionals or the police to flag concerns. The way police test your eyes is also evolving. New technology is aiming to make the roadside check more objective and less prone to environmental factors. Handheld devices like the AccuDrive are being developed to replicate a clinical eye chart in a portable format. This could soon replace the informal read that plate method entirely. More objective testing means fewer arguments at the roadside and more accurate reporting. It's about moving from an officer's suspicion to a data-backed fact. Until that tech is everywhere, you are still subject to the current system, and that brings us back to the moment the officer asks you to read that number plate. There are 3 major mistakes people make in this situation. Each one can lead to a fine, a demerit, or a loss of your license. Let's break them down. Mistake 1 is refusing. While you have the right to silence for many things, refusing a road safety direction creates a massive red flag. It reads as though you already know you'll fail. Refusal doesn't protect you. It just gives the officer a secondary reason to report you or issue a fine. It's always better to comply, but to comply on the right terms. Mistake 2 is the confession. People often try to fill the silence with explanations. I've been meaning to get an eye test, or my eyes aren't what they used to be. Every one of those sentences is evidence about your driving on days the officer wasn't there. You're handing over a medical opinion of yourself that is completely unprepared. Mistake 3 is having a go without your glasses. You want to seem capable, so you squint at the plate while your glasses sit in the glove box. This is just failing slowly and unnecessarily. There is no rule in Australia that says you have to attempt the test uncorrected. You have the right to be tested as you would normally drive, with your vision corrected. This brings us to the survival sentence, the short, polite response that keeps your record clean. Yes, of course. I'll just put my glasses on first, since that's what I normally drive in. Yes, of course means you've agreed instantly. No refusal. I'll just put my glasses on first ensures you're being assessed correctly, and that small pause buys you a breath before you read. If you don't wear glasses at all, keep it even simpler. Yes, of course. Which plate would you like me to read? Then read it clearly and don't add a single word of elaboration. If you genuinely can't read the plate from where you're sitting, do not guess. A wrong guess is a failed check. Instead state, I'm not confident I've read that correctly. Glare, a damaged plate, or an unusual font are all innocent reasons a plate is hard to read. You can even ask, would you mind if I tried one a bit closer? It costs nothing to ask. Once the plate is read, the officer might keep the conversation going. Questions about when you last saw an optometrist or if you're sure you're fit to drive are common. You aren't obliged to hand over your medical history at the roadside. The polite way through is, I've done the check, I've got nothing else to add, thanks. Then stop talking. Warm but firm. Anything you volunteer in that chat can end up feeding into a report or referral. The friendly small talk after the test is often more consequential than the plate reading itself. To be clear, this isn't about helping anyone dodge a check they should fail. If your vision has slipped below the legal standard, you shouldn't be driving. Full stop. It's about life and death. The good news is that the system is built to be recoverable. If your vision needs correction, the outcome is usually just a license condition, not the end of your driving life. Getting your check done on your own schedule with your own professional is always better. A documented current eye test turns a vague roadside suspicion into an ordinary, settled fact. If you take one thing from this, don't refuse, don't narrate your medical history, and don't attempt the test without your glasses. Learn the line and use it every time. Every state does it differently, but the survival strategy is the same. Protecting your license starts with knowing your rights and the standards you've agreed to meet. On this channel, We believe that an informed driver is a safer driver. When you know the law, you can navigate the roads with confidence and protect your ability to stay mobile. Share this with the people in your life who've been driving for decades. For many, this roadside moment is something they've never considered until it's too late. It's 90 seconds of prep now or your license later. Don't leave your legal standing to chance or a nervous reaction at the side of a busy highway. Be prepared. Yes, of course, I'll just put my glasses on first since that's what I normally drive in. It's simple, it's polite, and most importantly, it's accurate. I'm Akdas Hayat. Thank you for watching. Know the line, stay safe on the roads, and I will see you in the next one.